Hey guys, what's up? If you can hear me, just react. Thank you. If you can hear me, please react. If my voice is clear. Let's just give it to 8:10, and then we'll start. Today's class is going to be very short. Nothing too serious. I just want to get over some stuff, finalize some stuff before getting to the part two of this course. So 3 more minutes and we'll kick off or kick start. All right. What's up, guys? So, just to be sure again, if you can hear me, please react. All right. So, okay. I'm certain that everyone can hear me. Uh, okay. Perfect. So, straight to the point. Yes, in the last class that, or in the last discussion that we had, I talked about I talked about candlesticks. I broke candlesticks down and I explained the logic behind candlesticks, right? And how they function. And I explained the logic behind candlesticks and how they function. So yes, today I'm going to today I'm going to be talking about the same candlesticks this time around, but trying to explain the logic, trying to explain the logic of time frames. It's not around. It's not around. Trying to explain the logic of time frames. So yeah, right now I'm on the daily time frame, as I explained in the last class, for those that were present and for those that watched the recording. We have several time frames. If you go here, you will see all the time frames that we have: 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, blah blah blah. The ones that I favorited are the ones that are up here, that have been pretty much relevant to me, right? But so far this year, so far so good this year, I haven't really done a lot of work on the 5 and the 15 minutes time frame. My trades have literally been between 4 hour and 1 hour time frame, right? Because of because of the fact that um the lower time frame this year has been really funny. Lower time frame this year has been really funny. So that being said, let's go to the discussion of today. So now, remember in the last class I explained candlesticks, the opening price, the closing price, the high, the low, and what differentiates a bearish candle from a bullish candle. What differentiates a bearish candle from a bullish candle? I explained all of that, and and it's very important that we, understand that before I explain all I'm about to explain. So now, I said something in the last class that time is fractal. Sorry, that time is fractal. What does that mean in the trading market? What does that mean in the market, in trading, in forex, crypto, whatever assets you trade? What does time is fractal mean? Time is fractal simply means that smaller time frames make up the narrative of bigger time frames, right? Now let me explain. This is a weekly candle, right? We're on the weekly time frame. So every candle here was made every week. It opens at the beginning of the week and closes at the beginning of the week. Now, inside this um weekly time frame, it's made up of every other thing that is smaller inside. It's kind of complex to explain, but I'm trying to find the right words to properly explain it. So now, if you go to the daily time frame, this, because of the fact that the forex market is open Monday to Friday, right? Just 5 days in a week. So each weekly candle is made up of 5 daily candles. Now, notice, let me draw a line. I think that will help. At the lowest point of the weekly candle and at the highest point. Sure. So if I go to the daily time frame, you see my logic, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday made up that weekly candle. Monday, as you can see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now, let's look at it from this perspective. Remembering what I told you about opening price, closing price, whatever. So when was the week open? Monday, right? So the Monday candle opening, where will it be, since this is a bullish candle? Above its opening price. That's where the candle closed. That's what makes it a bullish candle, right? So this is the opening price here. Sure. This is the opening price here. Let me make that red. This is the opening. This is where this week's candle opened on this Monday. This is where this week's candle opened, right? Now, where did Friday close? It's a sell candle, so it closed below its opening price, right? So it closed here. Let me also make that candle red. Now, if you go back to the weekly time frame, you will see that it properly aligns. Can you see when the weekly time candle opened, when the weekly candle closed, the highest point and the lowest point? Why? Because inside this weekly candle, you have daily candles. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This entire narrative, this entire candlestick, or this entire candlesticks are what made up the weekly candle as a whole. Now, it is the same thing as we keep getting lower. This is a daily time. That means every candle here was made every day of the new week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These 5 candles are daily candles. That means they open every single day. They open that day and they do not close until the end of the trading day. Now, if you open this weekly, this daily candle, if you go to the 4 hour time frame, I think it's 8 4-hour candles, if I'm not mistaken, that make up a daily time frame. Let's go to Friday and find out. Friday, okay. Let me use Tuesday instead. I used to have like a a tool that could that divides the days. Yeah, I used to have that, but I mean I don't need that anymore. So is it 8 4-hour candles now or 4 4-hour candles? No, I'm not sure it's 4 4-hour candles. 24 divided by 4. 6. Okay, I think it's 6. So Wednesday. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. So ideally, 6 4-hour candles make up one daily candle. 6 4-hour candles make up one daily candle. Except Fridays, I think. Except Fridays, because Fridays closes very early. Let me check Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, exactly. Friday has just 4 4-hour candles because we close early on Fridays. Right? And it's the same thing as you keep going, like to the lower time frames. Like now, this 1 4 hour candle is made up of 4 1 hour candles. So 1 2 3 4 made up that 1 4 hour candle. So that's why I said that they say that price is what? Price is fractal, because of the fact that everything is just inside each other, right? It's just to tell a bigger, it's just to tell a bigger, it's just to tell a bigger story. It's just to tell a bigger story. So, and that's why it's very difficult to understand traders that trade the lower time frame without an understanding of where the higher time frame is. Because the higher time frame, which is the daily, 4 hour, weekly, they tell the story of whatever the lower time frame is going to do. Your understanding of the higher time frame is going to make your trading much more easier, right? So it's like, okay, you want to get sniper entries, you're on the 5 minute time frame, you're on the 1 minute time frame, you're not understanding broader what the broader narrative is on the higher time frame, on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly. You're probably just trading blindly, and it will not be sustainable in the long run. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to explain about candlesticks today. Just the idea of candlesticks as a concept. It's very, I don't know how to explain it. It's very complex to kind of explain if you're not watching the market live. Like now, if the market was open live, it would have been easier to probably explain. But when the market opens, you do your due diligence, go to the charts, see how the chart is playing out, right? According to the time frames. Okay, this is a 1 hour time frame now. Inside that 1 hour, the 1 hour has opened a new candle. How many 5 minute candles will I see inside that 1 hour? How many 30 minutes candles? How many 15 minutes candles will I see inside that 1 hour time frame? Before 1 hour elapses, how many 15 minutes candle will open? How many 30 minutes candle will open? You have two 30 minutes candle, four 15 minutes candles inside the 1 hour time frame, like that, like that, like that. So I think that's the way to explain it. So if okay, I think I have a couple questions. I don't know. The call is being invaded right now, but like it's fine. Nobody has access to raise their hand or anything. So okay, I could just remove them. Forgotten. Forgotten that that's a feature. Sorry. Okay. I'm coming. I'm sieving out the group. So just give me a minute. All right. Sorry about that. So if what I explained is not clear, can you just send a message in the chat box if you don't understand what I just explained about price, or about candlesticks? Just put a message, just send a message in the chat box, or you can just put a thumbs up. You can just react if you don't understand what I just explained. Okay, explain the time frame once again. I'm coming. Okay, so let me explain. Let me explain again. So, as I said, we have different time frames, right? The weekly to the month. This is the monthly time frame, right? This is a new month, right? Inside this new month, this monthly time frame, you are going to have four weekly time frame, weekly candles inside this monthly time frame. About four weekly candles inside this monthly time frame, right? Inside this weekly time frame, you're going to have five daily candles that will make up that weekly time frame, or that will tell the story of that weekly time frame, right? Now, in one daily candle, you would have six 4-hour candles that would make tell the story of that daily time frame. In one 4-hour candle, you would have four 1-hour candles that would tell the story of that 4-hour of that 1-hour candle. In one 1-hour candle, you have two 30-minute candles. If you have then in one 30-minute candle, you would have two 15-minute candles. In one 15-minute candle, you have five 5-minute candles. Like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Depending on the time frame that you are looking at, everything makes up for each other, or everything tells a story. Can it be enlarged? Let me see. Let me try my best. I mean, I'm not sure I can do more than this, but like, okay. This is the daily time frame. As you can see up here, if you are following my mouse, this is the daily time frame. 1 day. That means every single candle that is here is made every single day of that trading week, right? If you see this weekly candle, the weekly candle is just one. This is the weekly candle. Now, I was explaining that in this weekly candle, in this weekly candle, how many trading days makes a trading week? 5 trading days. The forex market, because the forex market opens Monday to Friday, right? So that means in this one weekly candle, you would have five daily candles inside. And I showed you that five daily candles. This is the Monday candle. This is the opening price of the Monday candle. This is the closing price of the Friday candle. And if you look at the weekly, it's also the opening and the closing of the weekly. The low of the week was made on Tuesday, and the high of the week was made on Thursday. Right? You will see it on the weekly candle too. This is the high, this is the low. You can see how it properly aligns. Properly aligns because, as I said, these five daily candles are the one that paints the narrative for that weekly candle that we just went to. And if you keep going lower and lower and lower, it's going to be the same thing. Six 4-hour candles will make up one daily candle. 24 hours divided by 6. Then four 1-hour candles will make up one 4-hour candle. Like if you look at this 4-hour candle now that is here, this one that closed on Friday, this particular one that closed on Friday. Inside this one 4-hour candle, you have four 1-hour candles. Four of this is inside. That means this, and this. These four. These four candles made up that one 4-hour candle. This one 4-hour candle was made up by these four. So that's the entire logic behind it. Mm, yeah, like that premium trading view, no, I've not seen the use, sha. That's why I didn't pay for it. Okay. So I get. Do you have to be looking at all the candles? Not really. You don't have to. It just depends on where you're looking at in the market currently. I don't think you should focus on that for now. But I'm not trying to explain to you how how these things are made up, right? And how time frame or how time is fractal in the forex market, right? So yes, that's just that about that. And I said today's class is not going to be it's not going to be a really long one. I just try to explain that for those that most probably don't understand. Highs and lows. Okay, how do you understand highs and lows? Very simple. How do you know if a candle is a high and how do you know if a candle is a low? Depends on the candle beside it, the two candles beside it. Like now, how do I know that this place is a high? Because it's higher than the both candles beside it. It's higher than this one and it's higher than this one. So this is a high. Same thing here. And for lows, same thing. It's lower than the two candles beside it. So this is a low. This is a low. This is a low. This is a low. They are very easy to spot. Very, very easy. Once you just know the two candles beside it, this is a high because obviously it's higher than this one and it's also higher than this one. So this is a high. This is also a high. This is a low. This is a low. This is a low. This is a low. So I mean that's very easy. Very, very easy. Just look at the two candles beside it. Um yes, that's that about that. For those that I've I've probably been trading for a while. I'm coming. Let's do some weekly outlook. For those that have been trading for a while, does the color have anything to do with it? The color is just a visual representation of a buying candle and a sell candle. I mean, if you're in the last class, um, you will have gotten when I explained that the color is just to make your eyes know, oh, this is a buy candle, oh, this is a sell candle. But I explained the real logic behind buy and sell candles. Oh, you missed the last class. I sent the recording to the group. You should have downloaded it and should have watched it by now. So yes, I explained the logic around candlesticks. So if you're not in the last class or you did not watch the recording of that class, I don't think you understand anything I'm saying in this class. Yeah, back to the guys that are already active in the market. Let's just do like a very quick weekly outlook on okay. Obviously we start with the weekly calendar first. My account is not logged in here, so everything needs to be too much. I have to filter this out. I have to filter this out. So I have no interest in low impact news. Okay, this is holiday, I guess. Okay, non-economic, so it's like bank holidays and all that stuff. I have no interest in medium impact news as well. I do not trade any of these pairs. I just trade euro, pounds, and I check the Australian dollar and of course the USD. Because why not? Apply filter. So this is what we're having for this week. This week is a very packed week in terms of economic news events. We're starting off Tuesday with core retail sales. And is this week? Yeah, this is this week. Oh. The CPI, okay, that was on the pounds. The CPI for the British pounds on Wednesday. So for those of you that trade GU, you want to trade very carefully. Wednesday is a very packed day because we also have FOMC. We have federal funds rates on Wednesday. For those that don't know what the federal funds rate is, it is the interest rate that is being decided by the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve is America's central bank, so to say. And they release something called, or it is at their discretion to release something called the interest rate. So what is an interest rate? Interest rate is the rate at which banks borrow from the Federal Reserve, right? So it's like if I'm a bank, they go to the Federal Reserve and they borrow money. They borrow money, and the Federal Reserve gives them a particular interest rate. Oh, for this money you borrowed, oh, when you are returning it back, you will pay me 1 point something percent, or you pay me 2 point something percent. America has, okay, the current um interest rate in America is 4.5%, which is pretty on the high side for a country like America. Donald Trump has been asking the Fed chairman to reduce or cut the interest rates for a while now. But at the end of the day, the Federal Reserve is independent of every other organ of government, so they can do what they want, basically. Nigeria's current interest rate should be around 30 something percent, if I'm not mistaken. So that means if a bank goes to the CBN to borrow money, they will have to pay back 30 something percent. So if you as a customer now go and borrow from your commercial bank, it will go as high as 40%, or and in some cases as high as 45, almost 50%. So you can see. So how does interest rates? This is just a quick um economic lesson. So how does interest rates affect the economy as a whole? Businesses tend to slow down in growth when the interest rate is high because of the fact that what do you call it, the percentage to lend money is very high. So it's like, how do I start a business? How do I say, okay, I want to get into farming, right? I want to get a tractor, I want to get land, I want to get all that stuff. I go to the bank to borrow money, and the bank is telling me I have to pay them 30%, I have to pay them 40%. That doesn't make any sense, because like this business, will I even see 40% profit on it? Then I'll not be owing the bank 40% plus the bank's initial capital. So if you borrow 1 million naira from the Nigerian, from your commercial bank, that's already going to go and borrow at 30% interest rate from the CBN, and now they are giving you at 40%. If you borrow 1 million naira, you have to pay 1.4 million naira. Does that make any sense? What business do you do that will give you back 1.4 million naira to pay back to your debtor? Right? So it slows down the growth of the economy as a whole, right? And America as a country, they are still like having economic issues right now, even with the fact that their interest rate is just 4.5%. But the goal of the Federal Reserve is to get the inflation rate below 2%, then they can start cutting the interest rate. So what is inflation rate? I mean, I think that's like very obvious. Inflation rate is the rate at which the price of goods and services increase, right? So inflation is a normal phenomenon, right? But it's not supposed to be rapid. Inflation is not supposed to be rapid. The current inflation rate in Nigeria, depending on which sector you're looking at, is very crazy. Some places have seen inflation rates go as high as 50, 70, 80%. Food rates as high as 20%, 35% year on year, right? So these pointers are very important economic pointers for you to know the direction. You can't exactly know the direction, but it will give you an idea of when volatility can kick in into the market, right? Days like FOMC, federal funds rate, you do not want to be on the charts that day. I don't know what your mentors told you, but you do not want to be on the chart that day, because whatever happens that day, you cannot predict. And now, after Federal Reserve has released the inflation rate, there's something called FOMC press conference. 30 minutes later, that is the real news. That is when Jerome Powell speaks. So Jerome Powell is the Federal Reserve chairman. I think I've said that before. Sorry for speaking so passionately about about inflation rates and all the likes. I don't know. It's just I'm just passionate about it. Yeah. So that gives you economic pointers like, okay, this is where the American economy is currently. This is where it's likely to be. If they start cutting interest rates now, that means I think inflation is showing some kind of progress or is showing some kind of strength. All these things are all pointers to how you or how you can properly sieve out bad trades from good trades. Like now, people will ask me that, why you don't trade today? This is how I sieve out bad trades, right? Okay, now if I know that a news as big as FOMC is coming out on Wednesday, I have no business on the chart Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that means out of 5 days in the trading week, I've cut out 3. The only day where I'm going to trade is on Thursday. And if I look at Thursday, I can see a US bank holiday on Thursday. I'm most likely not going to trade on Thursday. So the week is over for me. And then Friday, I don't trade on Fridays because I don't like to deal with regrets. So next week, I'm not trading. I'm not going to be trading throughout next week. And I'm just going to be sitting on my hands and looking at what the market does. Now let's hop on the chart and see what we have on the chart. Now, if you go to the chart itself, I always start my analysis from the dollar index. Dollar index is the king of all. It's one that is the major director of all other currencies, right? Because obviously it's the dollar. So if you go to the daily time frame, I start my analysis typically on the daily time frame. You can't see my screen. Can anyone see my screen? If you can see my screen, thumbs up. I mean, people can see my screen. I can see my screen. So I think that might just be your network. I start my analysis from the daily time frame, right? Now let's zoom out a bit. Or let's start from the weekly. Let's go to the weekly because if you go to the weekly, you can see that, and this is for the guys that they are already familiar with the market, right? This is not for the beginners. If you're a beginner, just observe. You get to understand the things I'm talking about later in the future. This is liquidity that just got taken last week, right? This was our drawn liquidity for weeks. For weeks, this was our drawn liquidity for weeks. It eventually got there last week. Those of us that made money. But now that a liquidity has gone, it now begs the question: do we keep going lower? Do we keep going lower, or this is the point where we kind of reverse? You can't tell. You can't tell. You can't make that. Who cannot see my chat screen? If you can see the chat screen, please just thumbs up. So I'm sure there is no network. I mean, people are sending thumbs up, so I'm sure it's your network. So price has raided this liquidity, right? So where do we go next? We don't know. So that means if you look at the economic calendar itself, it's also, and looking at the chart and combining it, it's showing me clearly that I don't know where I'm very, very sorry. For some reason, my network went out. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, just thumbs up. If you can hear me, just thumbs up. If you can see my screen, if you can see my screen, thumbs up. If you can see my screen, thumbs up. All right, lovely. So I'm guessing everybody else can see my screen. So all right. So I was talking about the uncertainty, right? Now we just hit an area of liquidity. We just hit an area of liquidity here, right? Are we going back up or are we going to continue downwards? The only way to find out is to let the market tell you. This is, as I said, this is for people that have been trading and understand what I'm talking about. If you have not been trading yet, just be patient. This is a volume imbalance. You can see how we reacted off this volume imbalance on Friday, which can be an indication that we are continuing downwards, right? But what are we wait for? Where were you? If I'm going to continue upwards, I'll wait for price to go out, close above this volume imbalance. Use it as a retest area and then keep going up. But for me to see continuation to the downside, I would just love to see price, close below this low here and then just keep going to the downside. So that's my analysis basically for the dollar index. So I'm just going to let next week play out. I'm not going to take any trades next week. It's very pointless for me to take trades next week. I'm not going to take any trades. I'm just going to watch the market play out, really. Watch the market play out. And upper week, I should be back on the chart with a more clearer perspective as to where the market is going to. So thank you guys for coming. I hope I was able to provide value tonight. If you understood what I explained about time being fractal on the time frames, just thumbs up. If you understood what I said, thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Perfect. If you do not understand, if you have any questions, just ask a few questions. I mean, we have till 9, I guess. If you have any questions, you can ask. Just put it on the chat box. Put it on the chat box. Put it on the chat box. How long does one have to wait for confirmation? As long as the market gives you a confirmation. That's the truth. As long next week is FOMC, you're going to see very big moves on the market. In the market next week. For a lot of reasons. Israel and Iran are kind of in like a war situation. If you're a gold trader, you will see gold fly. Gold is going to fly tomorrow, man. Oh my god. Just go and buy gold. Don't take it as financial advice, but like, yeah, because gold is like a safe instrument, right? So when investors are unsure of, where to put their money, they just put it in gold. So during times of war, during times of uncertainty, people just go and stock up gold. People stock up gold and things like that. So Um, yeah. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. So you're going to see very big moves in the market this week because we also have fund rates on Wednesday, as I explained earlier. So until the market makes some very serious moves, I don't know what to do right now. I'm not going to wait for the market to tell me where it wants to go. Then I'll follow suit, and that way it's just easier to make money that way if you can sieve out a lot of bad, horrible trades. Took me a lot of experience to get to this point of being able to sieve out bad trades, but yeah, it's going to be the very best thing for you. So, as I said, for me this week, I'm not taking any trades. In fact, to be very honest, I'm done for the month. I'm done for the month because I have some one or two things on the account that I trade. So I can't even trade them till the 21st of the month. And after then, I don't think the market is going to be providing so much more for me to be able to get value from. So yes, can you quickly run back test of one of your profitable trades? That's actually going to be very difficult because a lot of narrative goes into play when I'm trying to take a trade. I don't just wake up in the morning and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to take a trade today. I'm going to take a trade today. Let me see what the market. My my trades take weeks or days of preparation. Like now, you can see as I'm preparing for okay, I'm waiting for FOMC to do his work. After FOMC, then I'll see what the market has to offer me. Then from there, I have my daily narrative, I have my 4 hour narrative, I have my 1 hour narrative. So it's kind of difficult to be like, oh, um, this is a back test of my trade. Doesn't really work that way. But as time goes on, as I do my analysis, or as I explain certain things to you guys, and I'm doing weekly analysis too, as I'm taking trades during the week, you understand the rationale for how I take trades. Yeah. So, any other questions? Questions. You don't do fundamentals. Oh my God. Stay away from fundamentals, man. You cannot predict what will happen. So, why are you on the chart? Why are you on the chart if you are uncertain? Why well, some I mean, I only take if I'm trying to gamble, right? Maybe if I'm trying to gamble, you can gamble CPI, gamble, gamble news like that. But I don't think it's wise. It's not wise if you're trying to be a consistent and going to like a profitable trader that sticks to what is right. There were ways to interpret the news. My guy, the only person that can interpret the news is God and insider guys. Let me just tell you that right now. Anybody that tells you there are ways to interpret the news is a fucking liar. I'm sorry for cussing, but like I'm coming, give me a minute. Because something like interest rate now, if the United States president does not know where Jerome Powell is going to fix the interest rate, who do you think you are, man? And the interest rate is where investors, would whatever comes out from the interest rate, investors will know what to do or position themselves, right? So just stay away. Let the trade. And the good thing about fundamentals is that fundamental gives you direction. So why are you trying to trade it? Just wait, let it give you a clear direction. Then from there you can fire on. Yeah. So I feel like you should be given an assignment on a part of any aspect to go and watch a video. I mean, I dropped like an entire an entire PDF now on the group description that has all the videos that you need. So if you're not watching those videos, if you're not watching recordings, if you're not watching it over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I don't know. I don't know for you. I've paid my dues. So yeah, love you all. I hope you make money this week. And for the wise ones, I hope you stay away from the markets and touch grass. Call your mom, call your dad, call your girlfriend, tell everybody that you love them. Bye. Have a lovely week. I don't want nobody.